To be honest, some of the rocks on this job are a little bigger than I thought. The machine will handle them, but they are bigger than what is exposed above the air that you can see around the perimeter. The ones around the perimeter are about a foot thick and 5 feet by 4 feet long and wide. Some of the big ones, weigh up to 4,000 pounds, and it's tipping over the machine. I had to put a rock in the front bucket to keep the machine from tipping backwards. But you'll see, because I think we're up against another one right now. So I'm going to put my little GoPro on my head, and there's a rock directly beneath that bucket, and we're going to go for it. We're going to give it a little throttle, and here we go. As you can see, the machine is dragging along the dirt. Yeah, that's a big one. Alright, we're going to have to get a different bite on that one. Now we curl the bucket underneath it, try to get the weight of the rock in the bucket and push it against the shoal to keep it in the bucket. Missed. Got to get the center of gravity. I think I'll get it this time. Nope, I missed it again. Oh yeah, that's a big one. Alright, I got it. Oh yeah. Now that rock weighs every bit of 4,000 pounds. So we're going very slow with the machine so that it's not putting too much pressure on the hoses. And now I'm going to put that rock up against the boom, and I'm going to leave it just like that. I'm just going to pick it up a little bit so that its weight sits on the boom and the rock. I'm going to lower this. We're going to turn around and hold down the brake and pick up the vertical stabilizers. As you can see, the machine went down, but the rock that I have in the front bucket is compensating for the weight of this rock. And now I'm going to turn around and go forward and put this rock someplace where I can push it with the machine. Oh yeah, that's a big one. That's a big one. Okay, now I'm going to let that rock out of the bucket. Lock up the brake in neutral. Put the parking brake on, although we don't need it. Put the vertical stabilizers down so the weight's not all on the rubber tires. I'm going to swing the boom over slightly to the right. And then I'm going to drop this rock so that I can push it by going around the other side of it and push it into the pile where I'm going to use it to make the beach, the sides of the new beach. Bear in mind, this is just one rock, and I have about 75 of these big rocks. we're going to go for another one. Put the bucket down, put the machine in neutral, lock it off in neutral, put the vertical stabilizers down by these two mechanical levers right here. And now we go for another rock. Give it a little throttle. Yay, I hit dirt. Alright, what we are is we are down to the coral bottom. I can feel it with the teeth of the bucket. There's somebody dug this out with a machine years ago, maybe 100 years ago, and made that hole where this is actually a little fish pond, a little swimming pond for the children. So they don't have to go in the ocean and worry about sharks. So what we got right now is we're building a beach for the children so that they can walk down into the pond and have their own little private beach and not have to worry about sharks and other predatory fish like barracudas. Although barracudas don't normally attack people, they do on occasion. Very rare though, very, very rare. Yeah, I can feel the bottom. Somebody actually gouged this out because I did the lot 2 doors down from this, and it was coral and not coral and coral and not coral. But once you got down to about 10 feet, it was solid coral. So right now, we are scratching along the bottom of a trench that was dug with a very, very, very big machine. Machine that could put my machine in the bucket, probably. Back then they used big steam shovels. The teeth on the big machines, that some of the big steam shovels that I've seen working with my dad on the tugboats, just one tooth of the machine was as big as my entire bucket. So I'll show you what my bucket looks like. The tooth, the whole entire bucket, I've seen teeth that big, that weigh 4,000 pounds just of metal for a tooth, one tooth. And those machines might have had 6 or 7 teeth across the bottom of the bucket, and maybe they were 7 feet wide, the bucket. And they dig out this pond in about 2 hours, be done. They have some big equipment. When I worked on the tugboats with my dad, I operated a crane that would pick up 500 tons. It's called the Weeks 500. They made 2 of them to pick up the cap for a nuclear power plant. It had to be 500 tons. Then they needed 2 barges to pick up the cap. This was back in the 70s. All right, so we have the first 10 feet of the island. I have to build this beach 33 feet wide and 33 feet back, which is about where the front of the machine is, and tip it up on a, you know, like a 10 degree slope, maybe 5 degree slope. Oh, this is nice. I was hoping it wasn't going to be all rock behind the initial layer of rock. Otherwise, I'd be here for a month. This is a nice little job. I should be here. If everything works out well, I should be gone in 6 days from today. Today is Monday. I might be done by Saturday, maybe. It could be next Monday also. It all depends on the equipment. If I don't have any problems with the equipment, I'll be done on Saturday. Maybe even Friday. If I have any problems with the equipment, like changing hoses, that could take a half a day to get the hose and put the hose on. Could be next Monday or Tuesday, depending on how many hoses I break. Now I'm going to extend the boom out. Hey, Rob. I want you to watch the bucket. Watch the bucket. You stay right there. Yeah. Right now, I dug out. I have a perimeter as far as the boom goes, okay, which is about 6 feet further than the rock. Cool. But right there, I'm hitting rock. Well, okay. You can listen to it. Yeah. Listen to the machine. Yeah. Okay. Watch. Feel the machine? That's not dirt anymore. Yeah. So I'm just sucking out that muck like I said I would do. And see that's it's all flat too. Some machine must have come in here and you know with a steam machine that could pick this machine up in the bucket 100 years ago and dug this flat because the bottom is smooth like a piece of concrete. Cool. So now we're going to start bringing this. Okay, I'm going to shut this off.